welcome to my weekly Wednesday live. It is wonderful to see you here. I might have to go grab a glass of water. I in fact have one in the kitchen. Hello. Hi, Maria. Hold on, I'm going to get my water. I totally forgot to get my water, and I have not been talking very much this morning, and so I have a bit of a scratchy throat. So welcome to my weekly Wednesday live. I am Anne LaFollette, and if you are new here, I am a creative entrepreneur. And my area of focus for my creative business is this industry called surface design. And I'm super excited to be here today and to say hi to many of you who I recognize right away, like Sue Ellen and also Maria. And Maria, I know I am behind getting back to you on a message you sent to me a couple days ago. I have been at these mastermind meetings, which is what I want to talk about today. Hello, Pauline. So I want to talk about masterminds today. Hello, Jane. It's great to see you. So I want to talk about masterminds today because that's what actually I've been at several of them. And I want to talk about them because they're just the most energizing and motivating and inspiring types of programs to become a part of. So let me take a quick sip of my water. And Xochimo's in the house. Xochimo's in the house from YouTube. Hello. It's great to see you. Thank you for joining from my YouTube channel. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Anne LaFollette, and I had a 30 plus year career in retail. I worked at big companies like Sears and Esprit and The Gap and Old Navy. And when I was 55, I was having a really great year working actually in the Gap organization, the Old Navy division. I was having a fantastic year. I'd always been a super top performer, but my boss called me into his office and he eliminated my job. He sat me down and he said, "We just eliminated your job on the org chart, so we don't have a job for you anymore. Walk down the hall, talk to human resources." And the reason I share that story is not, oh, poor me, although it was a total shock to my system at the time. That happens to many people now. It happened to tons of people during COVID. It's happening to tons and tons of people now. It's kind of like not that unusual. But here's the thing. The most important thing is how resilient are we? How capable are we of, as my mom would say, putting our boots on, or what is the expression, like pulling up our socks? I think it's pulling up our socks and dusting ourselves off and figuring out what we want to do next in the next phase of our life. And so I was 55 at the time, and I'd never really asked myself that question. I'd always had a corporate career. I'd always gotten up in the morning and I'd gotten into my car and I did the commute into the office, super dedicated employee, and then boom, all of a sudden, I don't have that system, right? I don't have that framework anymore. And it took me a while to sort of figure out, well, what was I going to do next? I tried to apply for a bunch of jobs. I actually got several jobs, and then those jobs didn't really work out. And so I really needed to have an opportunity to think more deeply about, well, what am I going to do in this next phase of my life? And wouldn't it be fabulous to start my own business so no one can call me into their office and tell me that I don't have a job anymore? And welcome, Melissa. Melissa said that she's new here. It's great to see you. I just emailed you back. You sent me the sweetest email just a few minutes ago, and I just emailed you back. And so if it is hiding in your spam folder, Melissa, take a look under junk or spam to make sure that you get my answer back. You were so sweet to reach out today. And part of what I want to talk about is this exact thing. So hello, Kitty. She's at work today, but she's sneaking in a peek at my Facebook Live and my YouTube Live. I so appreciate you, Kitty. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see you here today. So masterminds. Why do I want to talk about masterminds? I want to talk about masterminds because when we are reinventing ourselves, we need to have a community of people who either have already done it, so they know the steps that you need to follow, and you need the encouragement because becoming an entrepreneur, especially after you've had a long corporate career, it's very, very different. It's very, very different. So one of the things that I did fairly early on as I was reinventing myself and wanting to have my own business was I joined a mastermind. And so a mastermind is essentially a group of people who get together several times a year, and usually it's in person, but often now that we're used to using Zoom, it could be a combination of in person and also people attending virtually who can't travel, for example. But the idea is that you get together with those people in a structured environment, in a structured manner. So there's a leader, right? There's a leader, and masterminds are very expensive. So you have to apply to be accepted in them, and they usually require some level of either business knowledge you already have from your past career that you're going to bring into the group. It's very important that the group be curated, and so the leader will curate it and decide if you're a good fit, if you're not a good fit, and or what you might need to achieve first before you become a good fit. But here's the thing. The structure of them is very similar. So if you've never been in one, I wanted to give you some transparency around it. And I wrote a blog post about it, which I'm sure most of you got and hopefully most of you read. And hello, Virginia. I see that Virginia's in the house. It's great to see you. She's multitasking while she watches. And the blog today was all about the power of a mastermind. And the word mastermind, I believe, was actually coined in the 1950s by Napoleon Hill, who wrote a book about he wrote a book about, not necessarily specifically about masterminds, but he wrote a book that talked about this concept of a mastermind. And what it means is when you get people in a room who are all working towards a similar goal. So in this case, it's creating your own business, your own creative business, and leaning into your creativity and embracing my motto, which is it's never too late to create. You want to be in a room of people who are slightly ahead of you and who kind of know the path to follow and who have a framework that has been a proven framework that has been demonstrated over and over again to actually work. And so I joined, the first mastermind group that I joined was actually Stu McLaren's mastermind, which is all about memberships. And the thing about memberships is memberships come in all shapes and sizes. And it's relatively easy to get started with a membership if there's something that you want to teach on an ongoing basis. There are lots of memberships around painting. There are lots of memberships around surface design. There are lots of memberships around creative businesses. And most of them you become a member, and then you become a member of that community, and it's a way for you to have a baseline of income in your business. So I know I'm switching gears a little bit to talk about, okay, when you think about your business structure, you want to make sure that you have a tier of income that's coming in every single month, which is the goal of a membership. And then you also, depending on what it is that you want to teach or what type of creative business you want, maybe you want to be selling products, then you need to have a system for selling those products and getting those products into your customers' hands. And when you're in a mastermind, when you have questions, you're surrounded by people who have done it before and who are slightly ahead of you, and you are basically wanting to always be in these groups so you can get your questions answered and you can make progress faster towards achieving your goals, right? So Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and that's absolutely right. That's the name of the book, which I couldn't remember. So thank you, Melissa. Think and Grow Rich. And masterminds, the reason he used the term mastermind is because if you have more brains thinking about a problem, you're going to come up with more solutions, and you're going to be able to then pick the right solution for you. Let me talk a little bit now about the structure of a 2-day mastermind. Frequently, masterminds are just 2 days long. You fly, the person who runs it picks a location, either in the United States or abroad. Everyone flies in the night before. There's a little welcome celebration, cocktail party, and then dinner together with this very small group. Many masterminds are around 25 people, 25, maybe 30 people. But you have an opportunity to get to know each other if you're relatively new. And then, of course, this is something that you're going to do 2 or 3 times a year. And they're usually about 2 days long. And those 2 days are structured in such a way, the leader, so pretend that I'm the leader of my own creative mastermind, I would kick the meeting off. And the structure of the 2 days has a combination of presentations from outside experts. It also has this whole incredibly valuable exercise that's called a hot seat. And I'll talk about that. And then it could be people from all different educational backgrounds, and also they could be pursuing something very, very different. So Maria's question says it could be people from all over and from all different educations. Yeah, so you don't necessarily even need to have a specific education. It could be, for example, if you want to grow your creative business, it could be people who are coming into it who are painters. It could be people who are coming into it who have a retail store that sells artwork. It could be someone who has a gallery, an art gallery. It could be someone who has an online business. The power of the group is that everyone's business is a little different. And as a result, it opens up your mind to all of these possibilities for how you can continue to evolve and grow your business. And here is a great comment by Jane, who said, when she owned her own publishing company, I would get staff together about every 6 months to brainstorm ideas to grow the company. It was astounding how creative and successful these brainstorm sessions were. We came up with numerous new publications to do that we could sell advertising around. Exactly. So the idea is you're brainstorming, you're having organized brainstorming sessions where new ideas come up and new ideas are shared and then can be implemented. And one of the structures that's used, very similar to a brainstorming session, like you're mentioning there, Jane, is what's called a hot seat. And a hot seat is this group of people will break up into smaller groups of 5 or 6 people. And then each person in that little breakout will have an opportunity to ask one specific business question. And then they describe their business a little bit so people have a little bit of background information. And then they ask one very specific question. And then everyone else who's in that breakout group talks and gives them ideas. And whenever we do these hot seats in the masterminds that I'm in, we always set some ground rules because you only have about 12 minutes. Each person has 12 minutes for their, quote, hot seat. So you don't want to do very much of the talking. You want to have formulated a really good question, and it's a question that you'll be able to actually take action on. So it isn't necessarily it could be a strategic question, but it's a question that you're going to take action on. And you need to give as little background information as is necessary for people to have some context. Then you ask your question, and then you don't talk. Then you just listen, and you let everyone in the group give you their ideas. They might ask a clarifying question or two, but for the most part, they're going to jump right into what they think might be a good way for you to address that question. And when we do these hot seats, there are 2 ways to capture what you're hearing. Because when you're taking the information in, it can be hard to remember what you're hearing. So there are 2 mechanisms that we use. The first is you record it. So everybody's got a phone. And everybody has the ability to record using your phone. And on an iPhone, it's called voice memos. And so you just find the voice memo app, and then you turn it on and you record your session so you can listen to it later. So you don't have to take any notes. You're basically just totally present, listening to everyone's ideas around you, and you're recording it. And then each person will give you their ideas, and then there's a cute little hot seat gram. It's kind of like a love gram. It's just a very small piece of paper where everyone puts your name at the top and then their name and contact information at the bottom, and then they just will write the 2 or 3 things they shared. So they share it verbally, you've recorded it, and then they also quickly write it down at the end of the session before you move on to the next person. So you've both participated by listening to everyone's ideas, you have a recording to listen to afterwards, and then you have notes. Everyone gives you a set of cards. So if you're in a group of 5, you're going to get 4 cards, one from each person, and then it'll be somebody else's turn. So that is one of the sort of very specific kinds of ways that masterminds are run, with also outside presentations. Frequently, the leader of the mastermind has done something in their business that they want to share. So, hi, Shalini's here for only 10 minutes. It's great. So I did get tons of great ideas. So I was at Jeff Walker's mastermind in Dallas. And Jeff Walker actually lives in Durango, Colorado, but he will pick different locations to make it pretty easy for people to fly in from everywhere. And what's amazing about the mastermind that I'm in with Jeff Walker, who wrote the book Launch, How to Launch Anything Online and Create the Business That You Love. His name is Jeff Walker, and you can look him up. The book is called Launch. You can either get the audio version or you can buy it. I think it's, $14 or $18 or something. You can purchase the book. And he has a mastermind that I'm in. And he always picks a location that is an international airport. And people come from everywhere that are in this mastermind. There's all kinds of international people. There's someone who comes in from Slovenia. There's a person who comes in from Thailand. There are many people who come in from the United States. Like I come in from California. A lot of people come in from Boston. A couple people come in from Canada. But there are also people who spend, 2 days flying to get there. There's a woman who's in South Africa who comes in person every time. And there's also someone who comes from, 2 people who come from the UK. So these are investments, right? These are investments both because you have to pay for your own travel and he gets a room block. So there's a great rate at the hotel that we stay at that you get through him. But you have to pay for your own travel, and then you're also paying to become a part of the mastermind. So it's an investment. It's a very big investment. And the reason that I wanted to share that with you is because in my business, I want you to guess what are the 2 biggest expenses in my business, right? And so, Virginia, I didn't realize that you live in Dallas. So if I come again next year, I have to see you. I have to come see you. Because you and I haven't met in person. So I'm so sorry I didn't know that in advance. So Shalini said, I love the idea of recording. It makes so much sense. And like you said, you're actually listening in real time and you're not sort of a step behind, right? Because you don't have to take any notes. Exactly. So, I have a big creative business now. I've been in business for 5 years. It's a multi-6-figure business. It's a very, very successful business. And my 2 biggest investments are growing my email list and participating in masterminds. When you look at my P&L, my profit and loss statement, there's all my top line sales, and then there are various expenses in the business, and the two biggest as a percent of total revenue are the money that I spend to grow my email list and the money that I spend on being in the right room, in masterminds, in the right room with people who are going to be able to help me, generate more money. They're going to help me generate more money. Continuing education. Exactly. Continuing education. That's exactly right, Virginia. That's one of the bigger expenses in my business. And it is a great way to network, right? So masterminding is fantastic for both getting additional training and additional learning. It's also an incredible way for you to find people who might want to affiliate for you if you have an online course, or it could also be another way in which you can network with people. So if you're looking to have a retail store and you want to have some partners in the retail store with you, you could also potentially find some of those in these rooms. So I wanted to quickly share my screen with you so that we can go over to my blog. And if for any of you who missed the blog, I always like to show you how to find it. So here is my website, which is AnnLaFolletteArt.com. I think you guys can now see that on screen. And if you come over to the blog, it's right here. You can scroll down and you can see other wonderful things that are on this page, right? A little bit more about me. I have some wonderful freebies that you can download, and these will put you on my email list so that you get my email every Tuesday morning. You can read about some of my incredible students who have lots to share about the successes that they had after they came into my programs to learn about surface design. And then, of course, here's where you are right now, my weekly Wednesday chat. And then you can follow me on Instagram. You can click here to follow me on Instagram. But right up at the top, what I wanted to point out is there's a little blog. And if you click on blog, you can see I write a blog pretty much every week, just like I come in live every week to talk about it. So here is the wonderful Amy Small. And Amy Small is a creative entrepreneur, and she has a business called Knit Collage. And look at this sweater. So this is one of the sweaters. She sells kits, and she's knitting kits, and this is one of the sweaters that she had in a kit recently. And so creative businesses come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. And so you can click in here to read more and then go right into what I talked about, like what is a mastermind, why are they so incredibly beneficial, because you get the shared wisdom of the group. You also get this accountability where outside of the meetings themselves, you get to know these people really, really well, and you have some type of an online channel. We use an app called Signal, so that we can talk to each other. Frequently, when you're in the mastermind, you might become part of a Voxer channel so that you can get a hold of people really quickly to get your questions answered in between the meetings themselves. And then, of course, there's amazing networking. And so I'm actually in 3 of them. So I was mentioning the one that I'm in with Jeff Walker, which is called the Launch Club Mastermind. The first one I ever joined, and I'm still in, is the Membership Mastermind with Stu McLaren, because he's the membership guru. And then the third one that I joined more recently is with Leap of Sage Events Management. And let me come back on screen for a second, and I'll just talk a little bit about that. So I love to learn. So tell me in the comments, give me a yes if you also absolutely love to learn. So if you love to learn and you have a creative business right now, or you want to learn how to have a creative business, and it can be any type of creative business, it's whatever kind of floats your boat, what you would absolutely love to invest your time and energy in to create your own business. One of the really, really great things is that you are always going to be needing to learn new things. And I love learning new things. So I'm always interested to find out how I can actually, how I can help teach people how I actually approached creating my business, right? And so Jane says she's a workaholic, and so is, so Rose said she is a lifelong learner, so is Maria Alzanier, so is Jane, and then Susan Brooks said that she loves to learn as well. You are so sweet. And then Susan, I wanted to hop on this as well, which is, she said, remembering the breakout sessions in the Doodles to Dollars course, right? I wish I had recorded the session when we talked about podcasts we listen to regularly. Sharing knowledge and experiences is so valuable. Absolutely. So, Susan, you can also go back to my blog. So if I share my screen again and come over to my blog, I'm pretty sure you can find all of those podcasts that we were talking about, because I'm pretty sure if you just go backwards, we talked about some books that we love. And then I think that prior, if you scroll down kind of far enough, I think we talked about the podcasts that we love. I'm pretty sure that there is we talked about the art of storytelling through surface design. There's lots of other fantastic blogs that I have written in the past, and exploring the depths of surface design could be a really, really fun one. And you can just basically scroll down and find older ones by clicking this little older button. And I think that we had one, I can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure that we had one that was all about podcasts. But there's some really great ones for you if you're new here to go back to, like Mastering the Art of Pattern Design and 10 Surface Design Projects for the Summer. That was really, really fun. This is when I was in Paris. These were the weeks when I was actually in Paris, which is why they're pictures of me from Paris. And but you can find them all here on the blog. You just go to AnneLaFolletteArt.com and you can do /blog, which will land you on the blog, or you can, when you're just on AnneLaFolletteArt.com, you can click on the word blog right over here. All right. So let me come back on screen and we'll wrap up because I've been on for 25 minutes and I know that you are all super busy, but I appreciate you all so much. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you jumping into the comments and sharing some of your own either questions or ideas about masterminds and what you have participated in yourself. And I love to meet new of you. So many of you are relatively new here. Hello, Margot. It's great. I love to learn as well. And thank you for joining me from my YouTube channel. Right? And then Anita said that as well. And then this is from Lisa. So Lisa Chinnery, it's great to see you. And you said, I love learning new things, finding new resources, and my sharing has kept me busy the last few months. I'm a lifelong learner as well. And fantastic. So you can totally check out the blogs. That's fantastic. And then Rose said that she's a painter. Exactly, you're a painter. So listen, Rose, one of the presentations, this is one really, really quick thing. So what will often happen in a mastermind is someone who has either a membership or a course or a retail store or some other type of online business or brick and mortar business, they'll present what their biggest success was recently. And they share like the nitty gritty. They share like everything they learned, everything that worked, things that didn't work that they want to do differently. And one, it's called a debrief. And debriefs are so powerful because you have an opportunity to reflect on what worked really well and then also to think about what you want to do differently the next time around to improve your business. And they're super, super powerful. And so one of the women who was presenting is a painter, and she actually has a membership where she teaches you how to do cute little paintings. And it's a very simple membership. You learn how to paint with her. And this is the thing. If you're multitasking, come back to me because this was super brilliant. And Maria Alzano, this is for you too because you're also a painter. One of the things that she does in her painting membership is she does one painting per month, and she'll sell a kit that has the paint supplies in it. And that's a way for her to connect even more deeply with her customers. And also it's a way for her to not only have the money coming into her business through the membership, but also to make money through the kits that she sells, which are basically all the colors that are going to be used in that particular painting, maybe a couple paint brushes, maybe even the canvas itself. But you could make that whatever you want it, whatever you want. So, and the other thing too was, the other thing I want to talk about before I let you go, and I see your question, Jane, about the debrief, so I'll talk about that too before I go. So Michelle, she loves to make handmade jewelry. Fantastic. That's fantastic. And so wouldn't it be fun for you to be able to both make handmade jewelry, and then if you have an interest in teaching others how to do it, you could bring together a collection of people who want to do that with you. And what I was going to say before I forget, because this is also for you, Maria Alzano, if you're still here, I'll also send you a DM. But, one of the incredible things when you actually have physical products, a lot of people ask me, well, I have physical products, so I don't want to have an online business. I want to sell directly to my customers. And there are so many ways you can do that with a membership. So many of you know Stacy Bloomfield, who runs a company called Gingerbread. It's called Gingerbread. And she now has added a tea towel membership to her business model because she makes beautiful tea towels. And they're big, oversized, kind of almost flour sack size. And so if you're a member of her tea towel club, you pay her every single month to be a member of the membership, and then once a month you get a new tea towel. And it's a great way for you to both continue to create new tea towel designs, but also people who are in the membership, they may not keep all of them themselves. They have a built-in gift to give to someone else. So I wanted to share that as well, just a little bit. And Jane, debriefs. So a debrief essentially is after you've had a big event in your business. So for example, one of my students who you know, many of you know, Zoe Schofield, she just had a craft fair. She participated in a craft fair. She lives in the UK. And so we did a whole training inside my membership, my Anne's Atelier membership. We did a whole training on craft fairs, and I have a free guide about craft fairs as well, and that you can download for free to learn about craft fairs and how to set yourself up for success for craft fairs. And so one of the things we wanted to do with her is we wanted her to debrief her craft fair. What were the products that she sold? What was her pricing structure? Did she sell bundles, like mix and match things, so that when someone was buying something, they bought a pillow and they bought a tea towel, or they bought a tote bag and a set of greeting cards, or some combinations, right? And so that's what a debrief is. A debrief is thinking back on some event that you did. It could be the launch of your website, and you want to do a debrief about, okay, I launched my website. Here's what went well. Here's what I think I can do better. Here's why I need some help. And it's a great way for you to share exactly where you are in your journey and get real live feedback, right? Real life feedback. So Maria, I just thought having a tea towel club, because your tea towels are so gorgeous, could be another really fun idea for you to continue to develop your retail business, because Maria lives in Sweden and she has a beautiful retail store, but she also teaches online. And so you also could have a painting membership, which is incredibly popular because people love to learn how to paint. And anyway, I'm full of ideas today, right? I'm full of ideas today because I just came back from these masterminds where everyone was like telling me like all of these cool things they're doing. And I know that each and every one of you is completely and totally unique. And so you have either an existing business already, and these might be great ideas for you to kind of noodle on, or you might be thinking about, I want to have my own creative business. And so maybe this will help spark some ideas to help you get started. Right? So I am going to let you go, and I'm going to let you go because it's already 12:30, and I know you guys are all busy. I appreciate you so much, and now that you've come today, I'll be live again next week. So I so appreciate having you here with me live, and if you're watching the replay, you are very, very welcome here as well. I always like to say in closing that I am Anne LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again next week. Much love to each and every one of you, and bye for now.